Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions. Today I'm Bancroft, being joined by a couple of people today, and that being Fluff, Jake, and Jimmy.
What's up,
Yes,
people?
sir.
What's going on, y'all?
And today, as you're all aware, is one of our messiest competitions, as we are now in the finals of our wing eating competition. Now, today would have been a duet of Asian Zinc, but unfortunately Jake lost yesterday, as you all could tell. So today's contestants are using both Asian Zinc and Jimmy. I'm going to butcher this. I'll let you go ahead and say your choice.
No, I want you to say it. It'd be funnier if you said it.
Lady Dioblas.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'm actually like, because Jake also chose Asian Zing, I'm changing mine to peanut butter chicken. Fucking sue me.
So with that being said, there's
So you're
buttons.
trying to kill Austin, bro?
No,
That's
well,
good.
Austin's not here for the competition right now,
Right, he's not here.
so it's
And
okay.
I'm also
mean,
eating peanut butter sandwich. So.
He sideboarded it out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
you.
So with that being said, there are buttons. Click them if you like. Yeah, cool. And with that being said, take it away, guys. Oh wait, as we discussed last chicken eating contest, I'm going blank on words all of a sudden. Jimmy, you're not using your deck, and that's also why Jake's here.
Yeah, so like we said in the previous video, I really wanted to play Red Broly because I had never played it before. This event was literally the first time that I played the deck. What you're watching right here is the third match I've ever had with Red Broly. So I really wanted to play the deck. I wanted to test it. Right here, Fluff took a life off of Oregano, so Bardock, I had it in my opening hand. It just got played. So I was
That's so
already
good.
at a head start right out of the gate.
I was talking to Seth about this when we recorded our game, but like those double strikers on turn one suck so much for Bergamo. And I actually want to take just a second to vent about this last weekend. Every game, I felt like Oregano or Comfrey floated to the top of my hand and either fucked me on unisons or the yellow card. And then Zeno, only twice over the entire night did I actually hit a blue card on the Zeno. It was either a black card or a yellow card. And I swear, altogether, I only run like 8 non-blue cards in the deck. So there was just something happening with statistics and probability this night. Not happy about it.
I mean, that just kind of happens in card games. Like, you can have such well-oiled, fine-tuned machine as you've seen in previous videos of Love playing Bergamo, where it just fired on all cylinders the entire game. And then you have nights where, you spring that leak, and then you just can't, you start floundering with the deck. And it's not due to Fluff being a bad player. He's an incredible player. It's just the deck was not working with him that night.
Yeah, it's to the point that like I want to play this another weekend just to get the redemption out of it.
Well, just go back to the
even though I
video
had
where you
played.
kicked my ass. All right, you flooded that board so bad.
Yeah, but that was like all weekend, and then it was completely the opposite. I think the most cards I had at any given time this weekend were like 6, and I think that was the game against Seth. And this was actually my second Dark Brawly game of the night because I played Jason's Dark Brawly.
Red Broly.
Or Red Brawly, sorry. But he was playing Red Brawly, and I literally got him on a rogue 10k swing. I think it was with the Zeno, with the Unison, and I just had to combo my entire hand out, and I beat him by like 1 combo because he was going to beat me the next turn because I didn't see a Mark of the Wolves in that game.
So that was a pretty standard turn for Red Broly, at least to my understanding.
Plus,
Plus the Bardock, which the Bardock was likely going to come out on the critical on the Broly swing. Either that or you're going to have to combo cards out of your hand, which is both plussing for me. But that dropping that Oregano just helped me out so much getting that Bardock out. Now I don't have to worry about that critical swing on the leader.
I just know that going into this next turn, it is going to be so absolutely rough on me. And my only hope is to try to get rid of the Bardock and try to have a counterplay to at least disrupt your chain and hope you don't have a double striking.
Yeah, and that's what I was scared about the entire time, because I knew Broly had the recursion on the back if the chain gets popped, but in the way that Trunks is worded, your counterplay of choice in a blue deck, the card never touches the field, and the Broly has to be removed from the battle area. So if you hit me with Trunks, the chain's just over.
Yeah.
So once you put the Unison out, the entire time I was thinking he has Trunks in hand. He's going to play it on me.
Oh,
I want to talk. I want to talk about this.
I saw your hand. You had a Sensu Bean.
Also, I've really messed up here. So notice where I'm keeping my hand and what card is under my hand.
Ooh, that's...
I forgot that was a yellow. So I'm kind of playing. I'm thinking through. I'm going to set up. I think I swing with lead. I think I Sensu Bean to restand. And I'm formulating how can I get rid of both the Brawly and the Bardock this turn. Because in my game against Jason, the way that I kept and basically preserved the game was using the Lavenders to blow up cards on his field.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only thing that I had. So I'm thinking through, and I'm planning, and I'm plotting. And every time I go to look at my hand, I cover up the card that Zeno charged. And I ultimately get so wrapped up in the details that I just forget that that's a yellow.
And I do believe you were swinging pretty much solely into the Bardock at this point. Mm-hmm. You were just trying to remove the battle cards by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe right here you play the second Lavender, which turns on its effect, which on swinging it KOs a battle card. So,
but I know that I need to dig a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already swung with lead. And I'm so mad over this turn. And I don't think that this is ultimately what cost me the game, but it definitely did not contribute.
Flub dropping that, spoiler at the 7-minute mark, in case you're all curious.
You're welcome.
These Lavenders are also a much bigger problem for Red Broly than one might expect. Even though Broly has the replacement effect on the backside, it cost effectively 2 cards, a card discarded and the new card that Broly plays.
So he combos the Vegeta, and I immediately was like, hey, you don't get its effect.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm devastated. I know from that point on, I cannot get back in this game. I don't have a Trunks counterplay in hand. I don't have anything. The only thing that I can hope is that I rip a Trunks off of this, or I find a Dimension Magic or something that is going to preserve the state of this game. I know I'm basically dead. I think off of that, I drew a Dangerous Triangle. I run 1, and I drew it on that. I'm just essentially... Jake has described that when you do something like that, it completely defeats you. And there's no way to mentally get back into the game. And that's where I'm at. I don't think
it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah. And based on the cards that are in my hand, like there's a Zeno in my hand. There's 2 Dimension Magics. I don't have the Dangerous Triangle yet. Maybe I get that in a turn. But I'm so absolutely mentally defeated because of wasting that super combo. I think I have a Comfrey, but I don't have the Mark of the Wolves.
And to go into my mindset during this game, I was almost certain that you had a Trunks in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So to playing that Unison, even though it was going to tick up on markers as I go up my chain, I was just trying to tap an energy to see if you shuffled your hand, like if you were about to counterplay. Like I was just trying to get any information if you had a Trunks in hand, because I was so scared of having that Trunks hit the board. And at that point, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I believe I stonewalled you here, where I just provided 0 information.
Mm-hmm.
And because I am trying to get back into the game. I'm trying to do what I can. I have the good Zeno target there to warp out from the 4-drop Brawly. And honestly, I think it was Jimmy playing the Unison that saved me this turn. I feel like had you gone in really, 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 really hard on your swap chain, you know, and at least establish, awaken, establish again, I think it's possible that you beat me. Now, I don't know the remainder of the cards in your hand.
So, on the front side ability, when I activated the second activate main to search my deck and add an extra card to my hand, I purposely chose Violent Raise because I do know how Bergamo works. I know you want to turn the 4-drop Bergamo sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Broly does not have a great way of dealing with that without wasting a ton of the chain attacks on it.
Violent Raise is very good against this deck.
Yeah, so my entire goal was to leave one. I wanted to leave one energy open. If I knew you didn't have a Trunks in hand, I would have just went hard on the swap chain and tried to end the game there. But with the Violent Raise in hand and me not knowing that if you had a Trunks or a way to stop any of my attacks, I left one energy open for Violent Raise. Because I just do not want you turning that card sideways. And luckily, you played into it, even though you didn't play the card on the next turn. You did swing with your leader first, which was perfect for Violent Raise. That's what you want to see when you're playing that card.
Yeah.
But it didn't come to fruition. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, but it was still good enough to leave an energy open for.
It absolutely was. Because had I had the chain, and then I swing with lead first. Had I had the chain, I wouldn't have led with lead. Mm-hmm. I think I would have opened chain and then swung with Bergamo, so at least I would have had the one Bergamo open. And that was kind of the giveaway when I swing with lead first.
Mm-hmm.
That means I'm digging for something. And because I do expect Violent Raise. Like I knew that this was Jake's list. I knew there was at least 2 in the list. There may be more, but I know there's at least 2. Yeah.
It's 2.
And that card is so good right now, and it really shuts down what I want to do. And here I'm kicking myself in the nuts for turn 1 charging the Roselle and charging the Basil, because I could have boarded a Basil this turn and had a little bit of like double strike pressure. I could have used the Roselle to shuffle my deck to get the draws back in my favor. I could have done a number of different things, but I chose those because the rest of the cards in my hand are just generic good blue cards. I've got 2 Comprays, which are critical engine pieces for me. I think I've got a 5-drop Ape, which I used in my first game to basically win the game. Mm-hmm. And I know that if I charge those, I'm going to regret not having them later. So I don't want to charge those. I did finally draw a Trunks. I think I've got a super combo, if I'm seeing that correctly. But I need to dig and I need to get into something. So I'm just thinking like swing. If you can find a Mark of the Wolves, you can at least defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing that I'm thinking right now. Is if you can find a Mark of the Wolves, you can defend yourself. And this is where I drew the dangerous triangle. And I drew a 3rd Comfrey. And I was like, are you kidding?
The entire time I was also wondering why you weren't ticking up on Zeno. And now I'm kind of seeing the thought process. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you were possibly, if you drew into another Zeno, you would bottom it on your Unison, then -5, just to possibly wipe out my field, and hopefully I didn't have a Broly to put back out. Was that the idea?
That was kind of it was an option. You know, getting rid of my Zeno basically guarantees you the win next turn. Because even if I get rid of the Ba and the 4-drop Brawly that you've got, you're going to start with 3 energy. You can pay 1. I know you've got a 1-drop Brawly in hand.
Yeah.
I know you've got a 3-drop Brawly because I've seen them both.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're going to be able to like free play the 3. I don't know if you have a 4 in hand.
Because I believe at this moment, the only 2 4-drops that I had seen is the one in the drop ring and one on the field.
Yeah.
I took a risk on keeping a double striker in my hand because the other cards I really needed to keep when I dropped for Violent Rays. So I dropped the 4-drop because that was probably the least valuable card in my hand, barring my field did not get wiped.
Yeah. And I didn't Zeno, which of course the Zeno is warped. And I'm thinking really hard here about what I should do. I know there's no way for me to dig further into my deck. The cards that I have are the cards that I have, and I have to make the best do out of them. So I make what I will consider to be an incredibly terrible play. And it's like doing something that you know that you're going to regret, but you have to do it if you want any chance. I know the worst thing that could happen is if I let you go up the Brawly chain with that Piccolo Jr. on 3 markers, I'm dead. There's no getting around it. I can't stop it. You're going to play out 2 other cards from your deck. I know the type of shit that Jake runs off of that, and one of them's in your charge area. And you and I have talked about this before. Just charging a Pan puts the fear of God of Pan into your opponent. Exactly. I don't know if there's another Pan in the deck or not, but I know that if you board a Pan, Ba could kill me.
Yeah, there are 2 in the list. And notice that was his turn 1 charge as well. So he's been flashing that from the opening of the game.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, think that running just a rogue 1-of that is, somewhat helpful to your deck, but more so a blind, what's the best word for it? A bluff. Yeah. Like just a bluff card, I think is still really powerful. Because like you said right there, it's like I had no intention to even put that Unison out. Like I said, I put the Unison out just to try to get info out of you.
Right, but that Unison scared me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't playing around expressly the idea of that, but I know that going into 3 energy, you're going to be able to go up to 6 if you want. I know that if you've got a Champa, your leader becomes a critical double strike. I know the 5-drops are critical. The 6-drop, I believe, is a crit double.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a way to get into a Bergamo. I didn't have a Bergamo in hand. Had I had that Bergamo that I just charged, which would have been in my hand because of if I had got that Vegeta off, I would have drawn that Bergamo on either the super combo or the lead swing this turn, and it would have been a no-brainer. Put out a Comfrey, and then I have a Bergamo on the field.
Yep. And I knew you were going to be able to cast the Bergamo if you had a Comfrey in hand that turn. I mean, you could have hard casted them too. So that's why I really wanted to keep that 1 energy open for Violent Rays.
Yep.
Because I wanted to go into my turn 3 being able to attack without having to worry about a Bergamo in rest mode.
And going into your turn, I'm sitting on 5 cards in hand. I'm sitting on Dangerous Triangle, Baby Golden Avenger, Dimension Magic, Trunks Counterplay, Zeno Unison. Those are the 5 cards in my hand, and I'm like, okay, all he's got to do is swap into the 5, swap into the 3. You swing so it hits the 1 Dimension Magic. You swing with the Unison. I think I'm at 2 life here.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is going to take nothing. I can combo up to 20, 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my max combo potential. And all of my cards are in rest mode. There's just no great way to defend me. And anything really above your 4-drop is an instant source of damage, but anything above your 4-drop is an instant crit. So nothing is coming to my hand unless you put it in my hand.
Okay, I got a quick question because I think I've seen how this duel ends. Fluff went to go grab for his life. I don't know if Jimmy was going to end combo there or not.
I had ended combo. Fluff was thinking.
Okay.
So
I was thinking about comboing out of this, but I did combo out of it. Yeah, I should have taken that. And I figured if there was a double strike in his hand, he would have done it right then and there.
Also, I put that 4-drop in the drop area for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, you pick it up.
So either way, or I guess I put it back. I don't know why I did that, but all right. So either way, it was going to work for me. Yeah, I don't remember what was going on here.
I use trunks to counterplay.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. I completely missed that.
On that one, yes.
So the reason that I comboed out of that attack was I'm at 2. Being at 1 or 2 is no different. But if he had a double strike in hand, he would have put the double strike on the field. And he would have done it then and there. And I knew to get more aggression, he was going to have to swap up, which I could have counterplayed. And then he starts comboing out here. And I'm like, yeah, he got the Chomp or Kai on the super combo, which he did. And
I actually had the Kai in my hand the entire time.
Yeah, because you're about to get rid of it for your Violent Rate earlier, but you decided not to. That's why I was asking.
I kept that in my hand for a situation like this because I wanted to get you down to 2. I swung with the Unison first, and I didn't put a double strike on there because I knew if you comboed out, you were going to have very few cards in hand. I could have swapped into the 5-drop, and I only need to deal 1 damage anyway. So it was either you comboed out, had very few cards in hand, a swap into the 5-drop, swing and throw a double strike on it, and the game's over, or I just have to deal 1 damage with the 5-drop.
I had a quick question that I want to cover just real quick. When you swung with leader, the leader gets a 5k boost, does he not? This is the Broly leader.
Mm-hmm.
So he was 20k. You super comboed on top of him, or was that on top of the Unison?
That was on top of the Unison.
That's okay.
Yeah, I super comboed on the Unison, yes.
I saw the attack in the wrong order, and I guess it threw me off. I was trying to figure out, because Fluff just used the Golden Avenger to combo with, and I'm like, wait, did he get out of that? So, okay, sorry about that.
The only combo in my hand would have been the Trunks that wasn't that. I think it's really frustrating to lose to your own deck. And I can't take anything away from Jimmy because Jimmy is a fantastic player. Like, he played through that. The choices that he made were correct for the moment. I don't think Jimmy misstepped at any place. Like, he set up the Violent Ray appropriately, which puts me in an odd, terrible place. You know, Dark Brawly is already a fantastic deck with an excellent, like, opening with that Bardock. Why the fuck do I keep saying Dark Brawly? I don't know. I am tired, but the Red Brawly stuff, opening, because I'm thinking of the Black Bardock, so I'm doing that thing. But opening with the Bardock, the Resolute, plus having the Violent Ray is so hard to overcome because Red Brawly does so much damage on its turn 2 when it really decides to push hard, that having just that extra double strike in a lot of instances can be the difference between win, lose, especially if you swing, your opponent has to like try to combo out of that 15k, and then once you start making your big Brawlies and potentially swinging with double crits, and then your opponent counters, that Bardock the Resolute gets to restand. And really, my ability to deal with that was the only thing that kept me in that game as long as it was. Had I not been able to deal with that Bardock and remove that 3-drop before you were awakened, I would have been dead.
So, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in today's mess of a competition of eating wings with a variety of sauces. Kudos. Good job, Jimmy. You got first place. It's happened twice in, I think, 1 month. You're on an uphill roll there, aren't you?
I mean, I've always been on this uphill roll, bro.
Well,
I've been at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut you off real quick. With that being said, once again, there's buttons, click them. But let's go into our last words. Jake.
Well, I might not have won this week, but my deck did. So I'll take it.
Did you get the winner pack then?
No, I got to look at it.
We didn't do a winner pack this weekend. We did a Goku monkey.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right. I forgot about that one. Jimmy, last words?
Yeah, I got to look at the monkey.
I mean, the monkey's still like stuck in my laptop. You can have it if you want. I got to place it.
Hey.
Is that your last words?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Monkey.
With that being said, Fluff, can you lead us out?
Beating yourself feels really bad. Your deck beating you feels even worse. We make mistakes, so you don't have to. don't cover your energy with your hand while you're formulating the rest of your turn because it will bite you in the ass. Read your cards, know your plays, fluff out.